Welcome everyone to our orientation for the Berkeley RePicture Spring 24 STEM Career Accelerator. I'm Elisa and I'm a co-founder of RePicture, and I'm really excited to have you join us to kick off our spring program today. So, as I mentioned, for those that got on really early, we do have a lot of ground to cover today. I'm going to first introduce RePicture really quickly, and in case you haven't heard about us before, if you haven't joined one of the info sessions, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Career Accelerator, and then more specifically about the Spring 24 program, which is the Career Accelerator, but there are some special things about this particular program. And then I'll talk briefly about program essentials and then how you can connect. And then I will open up for a Q&A at that point. And then after that, I'll go over the Sprint 1 assignments. And then I'd love to hear from you all. It's not compulsory, you don't have to share, but I'd love to hear, what you're interested in exploring, what careers you're interested in exploring this spring, what you hope to get out of the program, and that sort of thing. And then if we have time left, which we should, we'll go into a co-working session, our first co-working session. And that's where you'll really just get an opportunity to go through the Google Classroom that we'll be using for this class, and then start working on the assignments, and it's an opportunity to ask questions kind of as you go, and like that. So I'm going to do a lot of talking today, and this will be the only session that happens. We're going to have lots of amazing guest speakers and participants coming and talking to you all, and hopefully we'll all get an opportunity to meet each other and talk, get to know each other as well. Some of you who have been to the info session will find that some of this is familiar, but hang tight, there will be a lot of new information as well. So really quick about RePicture and why do we exist. So what drives us and why we started RePicture is really that only this tiny slice of humanity is currently building our future. Science, technology, engineering, and math are these outsized force shaping the world all around us, and yet these fields are still mostly homogeneous. Additionally, there's a need for everyone to be able to connect with these careers. If you're interested in STEM, there's plenty of opportunity out there. By the year 2030, there's projected to be an 85 million persons shortage in STEM. And finally, there's just multiple barriers to entry, and there's this big gap between classroom and career. So you all are trained very well in the hard skills. If you're a STEM major, you're likely, your class load is full of those hard skills classes. But STEM employers repeatedly say that they really want and value those soft skills equally as much. And at the end of the day, we're also not being very successful at getting people into the right careers because only about 50% of people are satisfied with their jobs. So we believe we can do better than that. And that you don't need to spend, time and money chasing a path that just to realize that it's not for you. And, we could be more intentional about choosing the next step in our career. And all students and professionals need ways to more meaningfully explore careers, guidance with professional skills and networking, and a professional online presence that resonates with who you are and expresses who you really are, so you can connect with the right opportunities for you. So that's our why. What is RePicture? RePicture is building a better STEM resume where you can explore, learn, grow, discover, and connect with the world of STEM, all while building a holistic resume that says a lot more about you than a bulleted list ever could. We're a mission-driven public benefit company, and our vision is a world where everyone can thrive in STEM. We're proud that our work has been nationally recognized. We've been invited speakers at UC Berkeley in their distinguished lecture series, had papers published at the American Society of Engineering Education, and have received awards, including from the Women in Engineering Proactive Network for our innovative and groundbreaking work, alongside companies like AT&T and IBM. And we also just learned that we've been nominated and shortlisted for the East Bay Economic Development Alliance's list of 2024 Innovation Awards. So we're very excited about that as well. And we'll keep you posted on that. And I'd like to introduce my co-founder, Lynn, and I. A little bit of background about me. I got my degree in engineering and practiced as an engineer for a little over a decade before starting RePicture with Lynn. I was a first-generation college student and had absolutely no clue what I was doing in either selecting my major or once graduating, finding that first job. I mean, I just found a job. I worked in lots of different jobs, lots of different offices. I actually worked at the same company for many years, but I switched around and got opportunities to work in a lot of different settings and jobs, projects, big and small, everything from sort of like your backyard level project to, these really high profile projects in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. If any of you are familiar with D.C., I worked on the waterfront project, the Wharf, which is a mile-long development right in central Washington, D.C., and that was very exciting. And so I had this really great career, but I did always struggle to find that next step for myself and to find my path. And I always felt like I wanted and needed more help. And so now over the last decade, I've really spent like really the last decade dedicating myself to learning and understanding about how people choose careers and navigate their career journeys and find careers ultimately that are fulfilling and satisfying. So I'm really passionate about that. And that's why we're here today and I will be leading this course. And I also want to share a little bit about my co-founder, Lynn. She has a BS in engineering from Bucknell and a master's from Stanford. Before co-founding RePicture with me, she was a vice president at AECOM, which is at the time was one of the largest architectural engineering firms in the nation. I'm not sure now, but she managed a group of over 100 staff, has hired dozens of students, hundreds actually of students and young professionals. She won't be joining us during this session, but hopefully, but you will be learning from her as well. She's a big part of this program. She was integral in creating what the program is, and based on her experiences with hiring, really, and the gaps that she saw between classroom and career. And, we developed this based on knowing what young professionals need in order to get hired as well and have that successful career in STEM. So that's us. And you'll learn more about that as I tell you more about our flagship program, the STEM Career Accelerator. So this will be our 5th year running the Career Accelerator, and we serve all ages and career stages. And we've served students from all over the country and the world. Our youngest participant has been a freshman in high school, and our oldest have been engineering grad students and postgraduates from a wide range of universities, including UC Berkeley and Columbia and Yale, as well as state colleges and community colleges and high schools. So how do we serve such a wide range of students? You might wonder. And how we do this is really we focus on those things that you always have to be doing, even well into your successful career, like improving your professional skills and growing your network and building your resume. We use active learning and do assignments that can be tailored easily to your level. And we help you with career exploration, which is something we all need to and want to be doing at every stage in our career. In the future, I really hope to be able to expand to career switchers as well, because I think what we're doing could be of value for them as well. So now I'll give you a quick overview of what we cover, and it may sound like a lot, so you should just know that this is really meant to be a light course. So it's really the equivalent of like a 1-unit course that you can do on the side of your class load this spring, and hopefully, enhance whatever you're doing this spring and prepare you for that internship or job that you get this summer. And we've had students work full-time or take full class loads alongside the course successfully, so I know you all can do it. And we focus on three things in the program. And those three things all overlap with each other throughout in various ways. But just as an overview, we focus on number one, networking. We like to try to make networking fun and enjoyable. This is something that a lot of us kind of put off for something later, especially in school. When you have your full load of courses, it's always like, I'll do that later. But if you start when you graduate, that's really too late. And so we're creating ways for you to network, and we're building, there will be various ways that you can network within the program. And we really try to help you learn how to do that effectively, and how to explore careers using your network. And then number two, we do professional skills building. Like I mentioned, we focus on those skills that you'll always be working on throughout your career, and that you'll need no matter what career path you choose, like writing and working on teams and preparing and giving presentations, and really filling that gap between classroom and career. So if you're already a STEM majors, chances are your classes have focused on those hard skills. And this is meant to sort of complement that. And then we also do career exploration and self-discovery. And we help guide you with this because this can be very daunting to think of, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? And we'll help you answer probably not that question, but know what steps to take to get to knowing what you want to do. And we really try to empower you with tools and the process and the method to explore those careers meaningfully, even to know what questions to ask, how to learn about those careers effectively, how to find careers that align with your interests and skills, so that at the end of the day, you can know a whole lot better, or have a much more grounded idea of what next step you want to take. So that's the Career Accelerator in a nutshell. Networking, skills building, and career and self-discovery. And at the core of our program and throughout the program, we're also helping you build a really awesome project portfolio of work that showcases all that you've been doing in the program, that showcases all that networking and career discovery and the skills building that you've been doing. And even things that you've done in and outside of school. So what does that look like for networking? One of the best parts of our program is connecting with STEM professionals that come to mentor all of you. So we host panel discussions throughout the program. If you've looked at the calendar that we've sent 100 times, you'll see we have a series of panel discussions on various topics. We also guide you in interviewing a STEM professional about an actual project that they've worked on, and publishing those on your portfolio. And one of the most important parts of your network is we'll talk about in one of our async webinars is your friends and your peers and your near peers. So we'll create opportunities for you all to connect with each other, and that will be throughout the program as well. So we cover a wide range of professional skills this spring. Those will be through our asynchronous webinars where you'll watch on your own time. Again, those are your forever skills: the writing and communication, working on teams, preparing and giving presentations, that you can always be practicing and getting better at, and learning about. And I know we've had panelists and guests in the past that I've learned so much from, and that other panelists have learned from each other. So I'm certain that you will get a lot out of these webinars as well. For career exploration, we're going to be doing active learning to help you explore your interests more deeply. So throughout the program, you'll be researching and publishing articles about real-world STEM projects and learning a ton in the process about the kinds of projects you might work on, the people you might work with, and the organizations you might work for. So I want to highlight also and mention that this is not research in the academic sense. It's more like Wikipedia level research. The projects are meant to be written at the 8th grade level, so anyone reading can understand what they're all about. But being able to communicate your ideas, communicate what a project is at its core, what it's about, is actually a really powerful skill that you can have in your whatever career path you choose. And this is actually how RePicture and our career accelerator got started in the first place in 2020. We wanted to help students that lost internships because of COVID, and they came and over the summer worked and helped us kind of build up this database of real world STEM projects by researching projects in fields they were interested in. And what we learned that summer is that by doing this, students were also really motivated to show their work and their interests, and by the fact that all those projects would then show up on their profile. So throughout the program, in our Thursday sessions, we'll be providing guidance as to how to develop your project portfolio and profile on RePicture, and how to research and explore projects that interest you, how to find those projects. That's sometimes the hardest part, is just finding a real world project that's representative of something you might do in a field of interest. It doesn't exist out there yet. That's why we're building RePicture. So, and as in STEM fields, as you probably know, it's very project based. So it truly is a better STEM resume. All STEM professionals work on projects, and they usually always work on projects as teams. And this is a way to show, for you to be able to show that knowledge of projects. So I mentioned some of the benefits already, but I'll just recap some of the benefits and share about some more. One of the benefits is that of creating this portfolio is that, if you're a student with no prior work experience, or you're looking to switch, maybe you have some experience in something and you want to go in a different direction, this is a way that you can explore a field of interest through that active learning, and then show that interest and passion in a particular field in a really authentic way, and in a way that really shows what your interests are. Your RePicture portfolio and profile is also a way to practice and showcase all those essential soft skills. You'll be writing about the projects. You'll be interviewing professionals. You can show those interviews on your profile. And you'll also be presenting your projects, and that you can also show that on your profile. So there's lots of different ways that you can showcase those soft skills on your RePicture profile. And here I'll just share a quick clip of one of our past students presenting about her project at our final presentations last year.
Yeah, so I'm Carolyn. I'm going into my senior year, and I am doing research at lab here at UC Davis, examining motor adaptation and the effect that explicit feedback has on the learning of motor learning.
Awesome. And then finally, when you connect with a STEM professional and interview them about a project, you can showcase that as well. So, and use your profile to connect with others in the community. Find, others with similar interests that have similar research projects. When you connect with or reach out to professionals in a field of interest, you can show your dedication. So it's a tool to help you connect. It's, if you send somebody a note, I'm really interested in what you're doing, that's one thing. But if you send a note, I'm really interested in what you're doing, and look, I've researched and published an article about a project that you worked on, or like, here's the research that I've done in this field, like, I'm really passionate about this. I think you'll have a better chance of connecting. And then along with showing your passions and interests, you can also share about what makes you you. So, this is a place to show the whole you, your story, your journey, what motivates you, what lights you up. All of that shows on your RePicture profile.
The name of this project you're working on right now?
It's the Pittsburgh International Airport. I have a couple. I can share my screen and I'll have some images.
That was just a clip of a student interviewing a professional.
Name of this.
And so you can see what the profile looks like in a little bit more depth. Here is one of our past students. This is Alyssa's profile, and you can read her story. You can see all the different projects that she's worked on, ones that she's worked on, and then others she just researched and published on RePicture. And then you can read her story, learn about her hobbies and interests and classes she used the most and things like that. If you go to one of her projects, you can learn all about the projects, see the different people and organizations that help make it possible, and how the project was funded and all kinds of things. And everything is connected. So you can go from her page to one of the projects to one of the organizations that worked on it, learn about the organization. And it, like I said, it's all connected. So one of our favorite parts of the program is when we hear from past students about how they've used RePicture. So I'll just want to share a few quick examples of how past students have used their RePicture profiles. So Tor was a master's student at Columbia when he did our program. And as he has, we encourage you to add RePicture onto your LinkedIn profile and resume. Tayden was a biology student when she took our program. And through the program, she wrote up several projects related to what she was interested in. And at the beginning of the job, her employers said that they had been really impressed that she had taken the initiative to learn all about the types of projects that she would be working on with them. Asada included her RePicture experience on her college application. I know most of you are college students, so you could use it for your grad school application. She discussed it in her college interview and she got accepted. We're sure for many reasons, but we'd like to think that RePicture was a part of that. Students have also used RePicture for job applications. So Tyzir was asked for a writing sample for his job. And you'll find this is very common for STEM jobs. He was able to show his RePicture profile and to show off his writing skills. And his sample was on a technical topic. So it showed that he could write very quickly and he got the job. Noran was an undergrad student when she did our program, and she said the projects helped her decide her specialty. And now she's gone on in that specialty to pursue her PhD in engineering. And I could go on, but what I hope you mostly take away from this is that I want to hear from you after the program about how it helped you. And one last thing before we move on is what is really special about RePicture is that as you publish these projects, you're also helping us build this database of real-world STEM projects and a new way to explore careers and discover the people and the organizations behind everything we can see in the world all around us. And there are already thousands of projects on RePicture that you can search based on your major or field of interest. So now I'm going to talk about our spring program and what is special about the spring program. So I first want to give a very special thank you to our sponsor, the City of Berkeley, for making this spring program possible. Without the City of Berkeley, we would not all be here today, kicking off another program. So we're really thankful for them for making this possible. And I also want to thank all of our partners and sponsors for making this program possible. Cal State East Bay Mesa, the Citrus and Banatao Institute at UC Berkeley, Blue Shield of California, HealthNet, Computers and Structures, and the National Education and Equity Lab. And I'd like you to meet our partners and our team. So by joining this program, I want you all to know that you have gained a champion with the City of Berkeley. Liz and Rachel are supporting the program and have been working really hard on your behalf to onboard mentors and companies to be part of this program. They are really committed to your success in connecting you with the Berkeley STEM community, and they'll be supporting you in this program as well as you share more about your interests. Liz is going to be our main point person to help us connect with the right professional for you. So thank you to Liz and Rachel. And then on RePicture side, there are also a lot of people working behind the scenes to make this program possible. And you'll probably meet some or several or maybe everyone here at some point in the program. Lisa, she was a peer mentor this last summer, and she's just kicked off our new interview series called Making STEM Human. So you should definitely check that out. We've posted it on all of our social media channels. And the first interview is really phenomenal. Highly recommend you check it out. And she's also gonna be supporting the program. Tabitha was a peer mentor in 2021, and she'll be moderating some of our panel discussions this spring and providing program support. We also have Thomas. He started with us in the spring of 2022 and has been working with us throughout the year and ever since on our strategy. Then we have Jerry, who's been a part of our program the last 3 years, and will come back again this year to support the program. Lindsay, who has also been part of the program 2022, 2023, and then she'll be supporting the program behind the scenes again this year. Joanne was a past mentor this last summer. She'll be with us again. And there's more. We have a big team. There's Juliet. She does our video editing, and Rupesh and Akshay, they're both on our software team. And so this spring, you will get a chance to connect with all the help of all these wonderful people. You will get a chance to connect with the Berkeley STEM community and network and increase your sense of connection and belonging to this amazing and thriving community. You'll get to explore careers in via Berkeley-based projects and showcase your professional skills and build your resume around that. And then you'll also get an opportunity to present those projects to an audience and win awards. And in the process, of course, gain critical skills and exposure within the Berkeley community. So I'll talk a little bit more about each of those. So again, this program is all about connecting you with the Berkeley STEM community as you look past school to the summer, your internships or graduation, if you're graduating, to really connect you with the opportunities that are all here, right here, all around you. And I want to mention that if you're like the vast majority of students, you probably know all those big name companies, but chances are you may not know about the countless other companies out there doing amazing work. And one of them might actually be your best fit. The big company is not for everyone. So in this program, we're really going to be trying to expose you to other career options and what those look like, and to understand what those choices are that you're making. And to give you an idea of that, right here in Berkeley, on the Berkeley Startup Cluster website, which is one of the resources we'll share with you, you'll find hundreds of local companies that you can connect with. And this is mostly startups, although some more established companies, but there are many more than this as well. You will get to meet lots of local and Berkeley STEM professionals, and some professionals outside of Berkeley that have some affiliation with Berkeley. The 4 panels we host this spring will feature mostly local professionals working on projects that are that impact our community directly. You can see here some examples of some of our past speakers, and you'll be able to see those on our website soon as well. If you want to be updated on the spring speakers, follow us on LinkedIn. And all of our social channels. We'll be posting about them on social. And then second, you'll get to learn about careers through Berkeley-based projects. So when you research and publish a Berkeley-based project this spring, and hear each other present about your projects, you will get to learn about a lot of things happening right here in Berkeley. We've grown a list of volunteer mentors for you to connect you with, to interview about projects that they've worked on. And we'll be matching you based on availability and interest. If there isn't someone on that list that matches your interest, we will help guide you on how to find and connect with somebody, and we'll help connect you as well. With the city as a partner for the spring, we are pretty well connected with every company in this city. So so definitely you should leverage us as a resource to help you with that as well. And as those become part of your RePicture profile, you'll also be helping us build this Berkeley STEM database of projects and put Berkeley STEM on the map. So we have some Berkeley projects already on RePicture. With this program, we'll hopefully add many more so that you and students after you can come here and see the work that's being done in the world of STEM right here. So I mentioned researching and publishing articles. We've seen what that looks like. And now I want to share what more specifics about that. So I want to keep our load light this spring, recognize that you all have a full load of classes and are very busy. So we'll focus on publishing just 3 projects as part of the program, though you are welcome to publish more. And many of the students in our first programs have published 5 or 10 projects or even more. And you can always come back later and publish projects, as some of our past students have done as well, to update your portfolio based on maybe a new opportunity you're pursuing. But for this program, we'll be doing 3 projects. The first project will be a project that you worked on in school or a real world STEM project you're interested in learning more about. And this is one that you'll have an opportunity to work on a team if you want. Project number 2 will be a project that you interview a STEM professional about. So this is a really great way to build a meaningful connection with a STEM professional. It's one thing to reach out and say, I want to talk to you and interview and talk to you, but it's another to interview them and then publish, an article about something that they've actually worked on. And, past mentors and students that have done this have said it's a very rewarding experience and a way to really connect a little more deeply with someone and make a more genuine connection. And then project 3 will be, project 3 will be again another either a real world project that you're interested in learning more about, or a project that you propose to improve the city of Berkeley, which I really hope some of you select to do that, because I would be really interested to see what your vision of the city of Berkeley is. And yeah, like I mentioned, you'll also get the opportunity to work on your projects as a team. So that's a great way to show experience working on team. Of course, you can add projects to your portfolio that you've already done, that you worked on teams for, but you can also choose to work on a team in this program. And we really don't get enough of that in school. School is really this like solo venture, but that's not really how it is in the workplace. After school, like you pretty much never work by yourself again. Especially in the world of STEM, it's the vast majority of professionals work on teams. Not everybody. I'm sure there are some professionals out there that work more independently. There are some professionals, but the vast majority of professionals work on teams to some degree. And not everyone decides to do a team project. That's fine. You don't have to. It's an optional thing that you can do. And many of our students who have done it have had a great experience. So, and then for the grand finale of this program, we'll do final presentations where you get a chance to present your Berkeley-based projects. Not all of your projects that you research and publish have to be Berkeley-based, but for final presentations, you'll select one that's Berkeley-based, and you'll present those to an audience that includes, the program peer mentors, the Berkeley City Council, the Berkeley startup community, cluster community, which is a lot of companies. We saw a map of those companies a little earlier, and the broader Berkeley community. So that will be on May 2nd and it will be virtual. So you can invite your friends and family, and it's always a really fun and exciting event, and really kind of closes out our time together. And they're just short presentations, 5 minutes. which can be challenging too, but we guide you through that whole process. And then a few winners from those final presentations will also have the opportunity to present live and in person at our celebration event on May 7th at the Baker Bioengineering Hub. So that is also an exciting opportunity for you as well, and a great resume booster. Both of these are great for your resume, a great way to practice those skills, and a great way to put yourself out there, gain exposure to the community, and show that you have those skills. Presenting skills are very highly sought after skills, because even if you're not presenting a formal presentation, you constantly in your work will have to, and some of you I know have had work experience where you've have to explain what you're doing, or share the results of the project that you worked on. So being able to communicate in that way is a very important skill to have in STEM. And in addition to our final presentations, you'll also have the opportunity to win project contests throughout the program. At the end of the program, you'll receive a certificate of completion. And this is also just a nice add to your resume. And we'll be featuring those on our social media channels as well. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about, well, let's maybe just pause there for a second if anyone has any well, actually, I think let's move on. Looking at the time, move on. Hold your questions if you have any. We'll get to questions, I think, next. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the program essentials, kind of the nuts and bolts. So I think everyone must have the link to the calendar by now, and I hope you've taken a look at that, but I'll just go over some of the highlights of the calendar now. So we'll have one to two async skills webinars every sprint. And that's where you'll get to kind of review again, like learn about those critical professional skills that you need, no matter what career path you choose. We focus on all those things they don't teach you formally in school or in the workplace typically, but that you really need in order to be successful in the workplace. Some of these are led by us, and then some we've had professionals come in and talk or be interviewed about the topic, and they're all super valuable and just packed with lots of great information. So highly recommend listening to those. You can see the topics for each of the sprints on the left side of the calendar in this like blue section. And of course, those are on demand, so you can watch or listen to them anytime throughout the sprint. And then each sprint for the first 4 sprints will have career panels. And we'll be doing those during the first hour of our weekly Thursday synchronous sessions. So from 4 to 5 Pacific time. We'll have one in each of them. And then this is where you get to hear from a range of professionals. You get to meet and hear from scientists and engineers from across the STEM world in this really intimate setting. You'll get to learn about their unique journeys and experiences, and you'll get the opportunity to ask them questions, which is just, again, just a really special opportunity. Professionals are very busy, and they're gathered in these panels to really help you, and they're here to help you. And it's just a really great opportunity to kind of, ask your burning questions, as I mentioned. So these panels have been one of the most popular parts of the program, and you really don't want to miss these. Our spring topics are AI, biotechnology, climate resilience, and robotics. And even if you don't think you're interested in any of these, in one of these or another of these, chances are you will intersect with one or all of these at some point in your STEM career, because they're just embedded in everything nowadays. So, and every panel we've ever had, we will have at least a few students say, I never thought of this career before, and now I'm really interested in it. I'm gonna, pursue and think about this for myself. So, so these are just a really great part of the program. And then in sprints 2, 3, 4, and 5, we'll have project workshops during our first hour on alternate weeks. So from 4 to 5 p.m. And that's where we will work on those project portfolios. We'll do activities, some guided exercises. It'll be an opportunity to really work on and hone our project portfolios and and that sort of thing. And then we'll also have assignments each sprint to help you with building your skills and also help you create that amazing profile. We have designed each of these assignments to be valuable to you. They're not intended to be busy work, and they're also, by and large, very short assignments. It's not a heavy load, hopefully for you. And again, it's really designed to help you in your career journey, help you build up your resume, and that sort of thing. So those will be released at the beginning of every sprint, and then they'll be due at the end of every sprint. We have them currently on the calendar due on Saturday, but let me know if we may change that to Sunday or possibly even Monday, just depending on if I hear from you all that Saturday is a tough day. But as of now, those will be done at the end of the sprint on the Saturday. And again, we really want this program to work for you, and the assignments not to be a tedious extra task, but something to kind of keep you on track and to help you really like explore your careers options and things like that. And then if you ever can't make a deadline, just reach out and let us know. I'm going to be a day late. That's totally fine. But the key there is just reach out and let us know. And then, yeah, just to overview, we will meet virtually every Thursday from 4 to 6 during the first hour. Again, we'll have those panel discussions in the project building workshops. And then towards the end, we'll be doing presenting practice during that first hour. And then in the second hour, we'll have a live co-working session. And that's where you can really just work on your assignments alongside, your cohort, and therefore get to ask questions kind of as you're going. Here are the questions that other students ask and learn from them as well. And like that. And we may do a few activities in those co-working sessions, but they'll be optional kind of a thing. And then we'll have the async webinars, of course, for you to learn about those soft skills and grow those soft skills that you all already have to, it's really about developing those skills that you already have on some level. So, in the first week, we'll do personal branding and working on teams. The next week, we'll be doing career exploration. Again, you can see all those topics on the calendar. And then we'll also have assignments again every sprint. Again, not busy work, not intended to be busy work. Please let me know if you think an assignment isn't valuable. There will be an opportunity every sprint to give feedback, and we really take that feedback to heart. So I want to hear if assignment wasn't useful for you, and that sort of thing as well. And you can expect to spend between 3 and 5 hours a week on the program, and that includes our live sessions. With the idea that second hour, you can be working on the assignments and making progress on the program. So hopefully it's like a really minimal side thing that's also very valuable and fruitful for you. And then what does completing the program look like? So it's very flexible. We designed it to fit your schedule, meaning, like you can pick and choose the parts that are most relevant to you. But for those of you that go the full mile, and that's what we really encourage you to do, I think to get the most out of the program, you really want to do the program fully and completely. And when you do that, we want to celebrate your accomplishments. So what that looks like is, come to 90% of the sessions, 10 out of 11 of the regular sessions. If you have to miss one, just let us know. We will be having recordings available, and and you can watch the recording. Like life happens, right? You might get sick or whatever. But we'd like you to attend 10 out of the 11 regular sessions, and then attend the final event. So we'll have a dress rehearsal on May 1st, a special session on May 1st, which is a Wednesday from 4 to 5. And that'll be the day before our final presentations. And then we'll have the final presentations. And then third thing is to complete all the assignments. So I'll mention the in-person celebration that is not listed here intentionally. Some of you are not in Berkeley or cannot come to Berkeley, and so that event is not required, but highly encouraged. So we hope to see you there as well. And yeah, I know some of you also have commitments during the synchronous session, and I think we've connected about that one-on-one. So, and you can still participate and join those final events. The only difference is that you miss out on that in-person or synchronous learning. So another thing I want to highlight is that we have a really strong community. Many of our past students, our peer mentors, the team that I mentioned earlier, have volunteered to mentor new students and want to connect with you. Everyone that's been part of the RePicture community is a great resource for you. We can help you connect with anyone that you see on the RePicture platform that you want to connect with. And yeah, and like I said, many of our past mentors will be supporting the program behind the scenes. If you want to connect with anyone, just let me know. And last, I want to share about a bonus assignment that we will have this first spring. We really want to hear from you, what you're excited about this program. We'll also open up the floor, like I mentioned, a little bit later, shortly actually, because I'd love to hear from you all. But we'll include that in as a special bonus assignment this week as well. It's not required again. And we'll also do another one of these at the end of the program where you'll get an opportunity to share about what you liked about the program, what you got out of it. And you will possibly be featured in one of our promotional videos in the future. And so with that, I'm going to quickly talk about how to connect. So we'll be using the Google Classroom for this program. You'll need a Google account to access the classroom. Hopefully you've all had experience doing that. I think you're all pandemic students, and I think should have had experience doing that at some point in the past years. In addition to the assignments, you'll also find a lot of helpful resources and links to resources in the classroom, as well as recordings of our sessions, and of course, links to the async webinars. So basically everything you need is in the classroom. And you'll be getting a link to that actually shortly via email after this session. And I want to point out in the classroom, there are a few getting started documents, quick forms to fill out before you really dive in. We have a video release form, and then we have a RePicture pledge, which is important so that you can know what we expect of ourselves and what we ask of you for the program. And then we also have an opt-in form for working on a team. If you're interested in working on a team, you can fill out, and these should take, a couple of minutes. It's not a big assignment, but I do want to point those out because they're not listed under the Sprint 1 assignments. They're in getting started. And then, check your email for important links and resources. If you didn't get an email from us yesterday, please check your spam filter. I think most of you opened the email. There were only a couple of students that didn't. And if you didn't get it, email me. If you find it in your spam folder, mark it as safe so that you continue to get communications from us. And yeah, in the email, you'll find all these resources, and after the session, a link to the Google Classroom. How to connect. So again, we'll be doing those co-working sessions once a week. So that's always a time to come ask questions, work on the assignments, connect with me and the RePicture team and each other. And then you can always email me. I think hopefully you all have my email by now. And you can also schedule a one-on-one. And I hope you do schedule one-on-one with me because I would really love to get to know all of you. And then for anyone who has questions about the assignments or technical issues, we also have a how-to guide for that, which you can find in the classroom. So you can use that as a resource as well when we're offline. Be sure to follow us for speaker and program updates again on social media. BJ is in charge of our social media, and you'll see her post at least a few times a week. She's already started posting about the speakers. I think she's posting about another speaker today. And we'll just be regularly posting about new speakers and program updates. And then, of course, the project awards, contest awards throughout the program. And then finally, one last note before we move on to Q&A. I want to end on, I did just see a question, but I will get to that in the Q&A in just a moment. Since we covered so much, I want to take one last moment to kind of frame what success looks like in this program. So really, I have 3 goals for this program for you that I will be personally working to help fulfill for you. I want you to expand your knowledge of STEM careers and learn how to learn about STEM careers meaningfully. I would like for each of you to make at least one meaningful connection with a STEM professional and hopefully many more, and to be confident about being able to repeat that at any time you want and need, because chances are, whatever path you're considering now, that will most likely change. You're gonna try different things. You're gonna start here and end up here. And there may be multiple points throughout your career journey that you're going to want to connect with someone to learn more about a new direction that you're thinking of going in. And then I want you all to build an awesome STEM resume and gain exposure to the Berkeley STEM community through your projects and final presentations. So because we're doing so many things in the program, I just wanted to kind of end with that, that these are the main goals for me, for this program, for you, for me, for you. And of course, I want you to also learn through the async webinars and, gain the knowledge that's there, practice those professional skills. But as you'll see, that's all really woven into all of these 3 things throughout the program. So I'm really going to be focusing this spring on connecting you with Berkeley STEM. And with that, I will open it up to questions before we then next go and I'll cover the sprint 1 assignments, and then I'd love to hear from all of you, whoever wants to share, and then we'll do with whatever time left. I think we'll have plenty of time to do an actual co-working session. You can start diving into the classroom. So I will start with Chloe's question here. Okay, so the question is, I wanted to know if the 10 out of 11 sessions we mean we have to attend 10 Zoom sessions, or can we also watch 10 recordings? If you have a prior, like if you have a class from 4 to 5 or another engagement for 4 to 5, then yes, you can do the program. You can watch those recordings later. So the 10 out of 11 is just that you attended or participated. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. And of course, like the 10 can also include a session that you had to miss and had to make up because for whatever reason you couldn't come one day. Just be in communication with me and let me know if you can't make a session, if you need to make it up, or if you plan to do the class fully async. That's all. I didn't get the Google Classroom invitation, so I'm going to send that in just a moment, actually, while we're on the phone. While we're on the Zoom phone. So you can all check, make sure you can get that and open it and everything. How long is a sprint? It's 2 weeks, except for when you have spring break, the sprint will go 3 weeks because the first week will be before spring break, and then the second week of the sprint will be after. Is this for high school students, and how much workload will be for high school students? So the workload will be the same for the high school students. This program, you should know, is vast majority college students. We have had programs that we've swung one direction or the other just based on the outreach that we've done, and just who happened to join that summer. It's all the same content we've done in the past with majority college students and all the same content that we've done in the past with majority high school students. It turns out we all need the same kind of help with our career exploration and things like that. And so it's absolutely for you. You will be in the minority in this program, in this particular program as a high school student. But you can absolutely do the program. We've had lots of high school students do this program. Would missing the dress rehearsal on Wednesday count as a miss? No. Yeah, so that is why we said 10 out of 11, because that is a special session. But that is a required session. So just let me know if there's a conflict, if you have a conflict on Wednesday. If enough people have a conflict on that Wednesday, we may move it to another day because that's a really important session to come to, or maybe even earlier the same day. So yeah, definitely let me know if you're not able to make that dress rehearsal. Where can we find the initial forms to sign? That's all in the Google Classroom, which I will send shortly. For the first project, can we use hackathon projects? Yes, you can use any STEM related project you've worked on in school, outside of school. You know, it could be a science project, a career fair project. I mean, literally, yeah. And I think on the classroom we've given some examples of projects that people have shared that they've worked on. Alyssa's profile, who I shared earlier, on one of her projects is a project that she worked on at an internship. So maybe you've had an internship, you could do that. Just if you do that, do check with your employer, make sure it's okay to share about that project. Some projects are confidential, but yeah, I think that's fine. And then also, how advanced do the projects have to be? So these projects, I mentioned early in the session, but I'll talk a little bit more about it right now. They're really meant to be a way for you to kind of get like a 5,000-foot view of what you might do in a particular career, like what kind of project you might work on. So it's not a super in-depth, it's very it's Wikipedia level, right? And we want to write to the 8th grade level so that it's something that anyone can understand. We'll talk a lot more about this in our STEM writing and communications async webinar. So you'll hear a lot more about that topic then, but the ability to communicate clearly what a project is, what it's all about, who it serves, who it helps, to know who all worked on it, the funding behind it. These are all questions that sometimes young professionals, like myself included, like you start out in your career and you're just kind of in this like tunnel vision on things, and you don't always have the opportunity to like step back and think about the bigger picture. Like I know a lot of professionals, even like years into their career, haven't really thought about these things. So it's great not only to like for the learning aspect, but also to show that you can explain something in a way that people can understand. Because like I said earlier, that's just a really valuable skill to have in STEM. I think in STEM, a lot of times we think that the more complicated we sound, the better, but that's actually not true when you go out into the workplace. The clearer you are and the better able you are to explain things clearly, the better off you'll be and the more success you will have. Pretty much any STEM field you go into, and you look at who has progressed quickly and moved up and everything, it's those people that can communicate clearly. So it's really an exercise in that. If you just take a look, go on the site and browse some of the projects, you can get an idea of what how advanced the level is. It's again, it's like Wikipedia style level kind of. Do they have to actually be building something from scratch, or can it be something more guided? So I think what you're asking, so the project itself can be a project that's already completed. It could be a project that's in progress. Maybe there's like, I was a civil engineer, so I always think of physical buildings, but like, say you have a physical building going up down the street from you and you're like, oh, I wonder what that is. You know, it's not even complete yet. You could do that. And which is actually really fun because then you kind of get to know who all is working on it and kind of what's going on behind the scenes. Well, at least I find that really interesting. And yeah, so I think that's what you're asking, but if not, please clarify. And let's see. I think someone had their hand up at one point. Did anyone have a question?
Yeah, I guess that was my hand. I got my question answered.
Okay, great. Awesome. Is there a mentor I could connect with that could guide me on my project? Thank you so much. Oh, great. I'm so glad to hear that. Yes, we have, along with the city of Berkeley, been out canvassing for this program for months now. Starting back in November, we started reaching out to companies and professionals based in Berkeley to invite them to be part of the program and invite them to come and be mentors in the program. And so we have a number of mentors who are willing to be interviewed about projects they worked on. Now, I really want to connect you with someone that is in a field that interests you. So if, one of the mentors that we have specially curated is not in a field that you're interested in, or, there aren't enough mentors for the field that you're interested in, like if all of you want to mentor somebody or talk to somebody who's in a particular field and we have like 3 of those or something, then we'll go back. A lot of people have said that they are willing to mentor, but like haven't officially signed up. So I think once we kind of get to know your interests more, we can together identify some professionals that you would be interested in connecting with, and we'll guide you on how to reach out to them. And depending on who they are, we will also help try to connect you. So now that mentoring, I just want to say about the mentoring, those will be specifically about connecting with a professional to interview them about a project that they've worked on, to then, publish that project on RePicture and that sort of thing. That doesn't stop you from also like seeking their advice on it. I mean, you can ask them about their career journey. You could ask them, other burning questions that you have in your time together. But we'll guide you through all of that. We have materials to help you know how to reach out, what to say, what questions you might ask them, how to really confirm that connection that you made, how to follow up, the whole thing. But the point of our mentoring is really more about helping you know how to get mentors, how to be mentored, and how to repeat that process as often as you need to. It's not necessarily about that one mentor you're going to connect with in this program, although many of our past mentors have connected with our students. Our students have connected with our past mentors for long after the program on lots of different things, including I need a job and do you know of anything? So, so yeah, that's absolutely a way that you can connect with your mentor. you have a couple, okay, so I have a couple of AI and LLM projects, which I am working on. That's awesome. One is from school seminar class. Could I set up a meeting? Yes, absolutely. You can definitely set up a meeting with me to talk about, what project you want to post. One of the assignments this week is optional, though highly encouraged. I would love for you all to set up a meeting with me, and I'd love to get to know you and kind of what you want to get out of the program. And so yes, the answer is yes. Any other questions? And did I miss any? Just put your question again if I miss them. I'm gonna look through these again really quick. Okay, I think I answered all these. Any other questions? I explained everything so thoroughly. No more. Okay, great. So then I will just quickly talk about the assignment. So I'm going to talk about the assignments, and then I will shoot off the email with the link to the classroom so you can access the classroom. So you haven't gotten that email yet. So here is just an overview of the Sprint 1 assignments. So we'll have 2 async webinars this sprint. These are both sessions from our past programs. I really hope you enjoy them. I'm excited about having these be async for you because that means you can listen anytime on your way to and from class, whenever or wherever is most convenient for you. And, there is some content in there that doesn't apply. You just skip over that. I think at the end, sometimes we talk about it as assignments for that week in the summer. You can just stop the recording. Well, I'll try to add tags for those so you know what section of the video you should watch in the future. But I want to show that these webinars are packed with lots and lots of wisdom from successful professionals with decades of experience. While that is true, there's really nothing like an actual lived experience. So this isn't like a shortcut necessarily. You still have to learn all these things, when you go out into the field and when you go out into your workplace. Just like you can't read a book to learn how to ride a bike. Like it's similar for a lot of the things we talk about in the sessions. But I want at the very least, well, for one, you probably already have experience with a lot of these things just from your regular life. And so it's just knowing that, oh, I already have some of these skills that are really important in the workplace, but also just like knowing what are the skills that are so important to have to be successful in the workplace. Most of us kind of, just make that leap between school and career. We just kind of get a job like I did and jump in and figure it out as we go. And that's fine. I think that's a way to do it. That's the way we've always done it. And I think to some extent, like you have to learn by doing, but I sure would have liked to have a lot more guidance on what's important when I was first starting out and when I was in school. And that is why we created this program for you. So hopefully you will get a lot out of those webinars. So we'll have one webinar on personal branding. We'll have another webinar on working on teams. I want to mention for the working on teams is probably the least developed of all of the webinars we've had in the past. But it's a really great interview with a professional, Alex Morales, on this topic. And yeah, I just highly recommend that you check it out and start thinking about, working on teams. Because again, like we said, STEM fields, it's all about working on teams. You're always going to be working on teams. And there's a lot of valuable stuff in here. This one's again optional but encouraged. Again, I would love to meet and get to know each of you. So you can schedule a one-on-one with me. And this will be throughout the program. Like if you don't get if you don't get a slot this week, because I am doing Fridays and Mondays, I think, So I won't be able to meet with everyone probably this sprint. But don't worry, we will meet. And at one of the sprints, if they fill up and that sort of thing. So then the next assignment is one that I really, 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 really love. I think, and what I love about it is it's about being intentional or helping you be intentional about making connections. So I think a lot of us stumble into making connections. We just kind of meet people here and there, wherever we happen to go in life, maybe at a job, in school. And the point of this assignment is to really make you intentional about who you want to connect with. And we'll talk more about networking later. But for now, just start thinking about who you would like to connect with and learn from. And it doesn't have to be, it could be people that you know, it could be people that are in your network or closely connected with you, like your parent's friend or your friend's parent or something. But I encourage you to also include on this list kind of like your wish list, like your like your dream person that you'd want to connect with that probably doesn't have time to connect with you, but just like put them on your list because it just helps you know like who you want to like follow, I guess, or who you would want to connect with. And it's just clarifying. So and then the next assignment is to create your profile. So you'll log into RePicture, create your account, and start your profile, which if you remember when we looked at Alyssa's profile, it's like that left side of her profile. I also want to share that we've redesigned the profile page to look a lot better than it does now. So hopefully that will happen also in the next, I'm not sure when, maybe 6 months or a year, but we have plans. But this is your chance to really share about yourself and tell your whole story. Who are you? What makes you you? What motivates you? What inspires you? What lights you up? We have a template that you can use to save all of your answers and really think them through first before you go and enter them into RePicture. And I encourage you to do that because most of the time, the vast majority of the time, it works out fine. But we've had students come and say, I worked on my profile and then I lost all my work. And so just make sure you save when you go into the RePicture, but just start in the template first for now while we still work with our old software. And yeah, and hopefully you'll use this as an opportunity to reflect. It's not that often that we just sit and ask ourselves the questions that we have on the side of your profile. So try to enjoy that process, I think. And then bonus, again, I mentioned we'll do, if you don't, we'll open the floor up next and I'd love to hear from you. But if you don't introduce yourself today, love to hear from you. And there's a chance to do that with video feedback this sprint. And finally, you'll submit everything using the Google form in assignment 1.5. So it's just one submission form. You won't be submitting like in assignments 1.1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. You won't be submitting anything there, just in this final form. And it's, yes, I watched or attended the session. Yes, I did the assignment. Some occasional assignments, it's upload the assignment. And then it's your feedback. We would really love to hear your feedback throughout the program. We really read and value all of your feedback. We read all of it thoroughly. We come back to it again and again throughout the year as we're designing our next program. And you can be as brief or as lengthy as you would like. Even those one-liner responses are very helpful for us. So I know you have busy schedules. And if you don't have time to give us this really great lengthy feedback, even just it was great because whatever is great. And now I'm going to send the Google Classroom. Actually, I'll put the Google Classroom link into the chat. Because I think all of you got the email. So just bear with me 1 second here. Oh. Oh, darn. Huh, this is gonna take a second. Any questions while I dig around for this link that my plan was to send it to you via email. Actually, I'll just email it to you right now as well. And then, oops. Just let me know if you don't get it. Exit. All right. So the email is off. So you should get a link to the Google Classroom in your email. And let me answer a couple questions while you find that. Do you have the code? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna actually put the link in the chat too now that I've sent it. Sorry. I thought I had it up right here in front of me, but apparently I did not. So here we go. So the class code is RW. Group chat. That's the class code. And then this is the link here. So you should be good. Let's see. So, okay. So group for this card. Should we have a group for this cohort? Oh, yes. So yes, it would be great to have a group. And I think we've experimented with different ways of doing that in the past to varying degrees of success. So we could do it in different ways. And I'm going to send out a survey about it to see what you all would like to do, because I think that's what we want to do, is what you want to do. So we could do a Slack. We've done Slack before. And we've also done a LinkedIn group. So we can set up one of those. And yeah, like I said, I'll follow up with an email about that. And let's see, plan on doing the sessions. Yes. So if you see a professional that's going to be coming to the panel discussions, it's going to be a panelist. If you see one of the panelists and you really want to ask that panelist a question, there will be an opportunity to submit your questions if you can't come to the live session. And if you can come, an opportunity to ask your questions, of course. So yes. And then should we join the classroom with their school email? If you can. I thought it has to be a Gmail, but if you are able to join with your Berkeley email or your school, yeah, I think it has to be a Google, a Google email, a Gmail. So any other questions? Any other questions? No? All right. You're able to. Yes, that's fine. Harsa. Yeah, you're fine. You're able to join without a password. That's fine. And then, yeah, so before you kind of go and browse around the classroom, I'd love to hear from any of you that want to share. If you want to introduce yourself, maybe your name, your kind of a career direction you want to explore, what you hope to get out of something you like, one thing you hope to get out of the program. You don't have to turn your video on. You could also just share if you like. No pressure. Yes, I'm gonna totally mess up your name, so I'll just just unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Yeah.
I can cook. Yeah, I could go first. Yeah, so sorry, what happened? Couldn't see. Oh, okay. There you go. Sorry, excuse me. Um, I'm Xiao Mei. You can call me Daisy. I'm a senior student majoring in computer science at UC Berkeley. I also teach data science minor now. Um, so I passionate about AI, yeah, and healthcare. So this semester I took two seminar classes at UC Berkeley. One is large language modeling and safety. Another is using natural language processing to apply healthcare. So I spent almost 1 year to find a job because I'm a single mom with two young children. It seems very hard for me because I couldn't relocate. I really glad to participate in this project. Right, the program is just relocate. It's located around Berkeley. Yeah, I'm so excited about it. I'm looking for how to utilize this program. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So nice to hear from you and welcome to the program. And I hope you get a ton out of it. Thank you so much, Daisy.
Thank you so much too.
Anybody else want to share? Parsa?
Hey everyone, good afternoon. My name is Parsa. I am also a computer science major and I study at Berkeley City College. My goal is to transfer to a University of California, hopefully next year. And I really look forward to this program because I want to use the experience to develop more professional skills and the softer skills. And I think that it's really amazing to have this chance to work on things that we don't normally learn in classrooms and in schools. I'm especially interested in AI and also in leveraging its potential to sort of increase efficiency and increase like scientific advancements in many different fields. And it's just good to get to know you all.
Awesome. So good to have you, Parsa, in the program. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Tia, would you like to share?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Tia. I'm a first year student at UC Berkeley. I'm studying environmental economics and policy and intended data science. So I'm particularly interested in like utilizing data science for environmental like policy making. But right now, because I am a freshman, like I'm open to a lot of different paths like that can go in. So that's not something I'm really like limiting myself to. But with this program, I do want to like get to an extent a clear idea of the path I can take with this, and also just the opportunities available, plus like get to know people, see how certain careers have played out or how certain pathways have played out for others, and then of course like just mentorship in general. I think that's really important, and that is something that I think I'll be able to get from this program and something that will be useful to me in the next few years. But yeah, excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tia, for sharing and welcome to the program. Monish.
Hi everyone, my name is Monish. I'm a high school student in Illinois, and I know I'm a minor in this group, but I'm still here to learn about the several type of topics that we will learn. I also want to like pursue in computer science as I after I complete my college. And I hope to get a lot out of this program, starting with several, how to interview people and get like the types of internships and job opportunities which are possible in this. Because computer science is a field that will always grow, and I hope that I can get something major out of this and apply it in my college and my future. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks so much, Manisha. And I love having such a wide range. I just love that. So, yeah. And like kudos to you for being brave to join like when you're totally outnumbered. But I think you're gonna do awesome. And the main thing is just to want to learn and want to come and be part of it. So thank you so much for sharing. I am going to mess up your name, I think, but I can try. Is it Zaid?
Close enough. It's Zaid.
Zaid.
Hello everyone. My name is Zaid Ali. I'm a computer science major. I currently attend CSU East Bay. I just transferred, so it's my second semester. I don't really have a certain direction I want to explore in terms of my career, but I am interested in gaming, VR and slash AR, and AI. So maybe one of those as a career direction. What I want to get out of this program is just to be better at communicating and presenting myself out there. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. I hope you will get all that and more. That's awesome. Thanks, Zaid. And I think Chloe gave a shout out in the chat. Awesome. Well, it's really nice to hear from you because after, months of preparing, it's like, yeah, it just makes it all worth it to hear what you want to get out of the program and it pumps me up. So I do appreciate you sharing. I think I saw a couple other questions in the chat, so I will answer those. Actually stop my screen share. Let's see. I usually have someone else helping me with this, but unfortunately she couldn't come today at the last minute. So let's see. Okay. For the release form, do we just submit a Google response? Yeah. There's nothing you need to attach, just fill the form and then you don't need to mark it as done. It's fine. We'll get your response. And then yeah, for the assignments, when you get to the assignments, I could probably even just well, no, I guess I can't. I was gonna say I could just kind of show you around, but yeah, you don't need to mark them as done. You just, even for the assignments, like the 1.5 is where there's a form there that you kind of submit all of the assignments. Great. All right, well, if there are no other questions, I'm just gonna hold this space open. As you peruse and go through the Google Classroom, get started on things and get familiar, you can always just drop a question in the chat or raise your hand, take yourself off mute and ask a question. But I'll just keep this space open. And if you want to get started on the sprint one and getting to know the classroom, I'll just be here for you. So thank you everyone for coming to the orientation.